Hey y'all, Jonathan McGarry here, and this is Off the Page, Genesis chapter 22. And this is what God caused jump off the page to me today. Chapter 22 tells a strange but beautiful story of God telling Abraham to offer up his son Isaac as a sacrifice. It was a testing of Abraham's faith, but also God illustrating that he would sacrifice his own son for the forgiveness of sin. While a familiar biblical account to me that I have read many times, God caused verse 1 to jump off the page to me today. In verse 1, God calls Abraham by name, and Abraham immediately answers by saying, "Here I am." Notice Abraham did not say, "What is it you want?" or "Just a minute," or "I am busy right now," or "You want me to do what?" or even just ignore the call of God. In essence, what Abraham was saying was, "Yes, Lord, I am listening and ready to obey." Also take note that God had not even told Abraham what he wanted or what he was going to do. Before Abraham ever knew what God was going to ask, he was committed to immediate obedience. We know this because when God asks the unthinkable, we see in verse 3 that Abraham immediately obeyed. This immediate willing obedience is the key to our own obedience. When God calls on us and gives us a task, a mission, or a calling, we must determine now that we will be listening, responding, and obeying immediately what God calls us to do to be part of what He is doing. If we do not, we open the door to sin and Satan to creep in and try to convince us why we should not obey, and he can give us all kinds of reasons, and we will miss out on a blessing and a miracle. We serve a God who is faithful, loving, and worthy of our trust. Abraham trusted God so completely that there is no mention of any argument, hesitation, or complaint from Abraham. In fact, Hebrews 11 tells us that Abraham trusted God so much that he believed that God would raise Isaac from the dead to keep his promises that he had made. Oh, that we would trust God like that. So did you see what I saw? Did God show you something else, something new, or something different? Seek God by reading His Word. After all, the whole purpose of reading His Word is to seek God, to know God, and to have a relationship with God. Let God speak to you today. Until next time, remember I love you, and more importantly, God loves you. Keep your eyes on Him.